Parents, let's gather here. This video, it's more or less the previous video that I made, the meaning. What makes a parent? What makes a dad or a mom? And what makes a mother and a father? How do we distinguish that? I mean, we have parents that are parenting, and then we have parents that are raising kids, which is a huge difference. Now, I watched a Young African and Famous season 1, where Kanyimbao was mentioning that her daughter has her own penthouse, which is the next door, and Kanyimbao stays with her boyfriend, and that made most of people cringe. Most of African, they felt like it was not ethical because the child that time, I think she was 12 or 13 years old. They say children become irresponsible only when we fail to give them opportunities to take on responsibility. Is it a 13-year-old child responsible to take responsibilities? Is a 13-year-old child capable of being responsible in that manner of staying alone? I mean, it's scary even staying alone when you are 18 or 21 or even 25 or even at 30 if you've never done it before. So now, my question in this whole thing, when is the right time to say, I feel that my child right now, I should give them an opportunity to become, to take a responsibility, to become responsible? When do we know? How will we know? Is it observing the child? Because sometimes, guys, what I discovered, okay, according to my experience, there was a time I was very naive. I was very angry at my mom. I was 13, 14, 15. I think my mom passed on when I was 17. And everything that she told me, it sounded so wrong. It sounded so controlling. I felt like she just couldn't stand my side. I couldn't stand hers either. Was she equipping me? Was she giving me an opportunity to be responsible? Or she was still teaching me how to be responsible? I don't know. I don't know really. As I said to my previous video, that it's so hard to tell people how should they parent their kids. But what I don't agree with is focusing on raising kids. We have parents who believes that a child is given an opportunity when you're funding for their education. You're giving a child an opportunity to belong to the community by funding their bad habits, by buying them branded clothes. You're giving them an opportunity to belong. You're giving them an opportunity to be educated by funding. You know, we have fathers, we have mothers who are not in their kids' lives, who just sends money because that they think that that's an opportunity for you to leave, and then so that you can be responsible later on in life. What is to give an opportunity to your child so that they can be responsible? At which age, when we can say now they are responsible for their lives without you being there? Wouldn't you want to have a child that if God reminds you, if God remember you tomorrow, if you die tomorrow, your kids can be safe with other people because of they've seen how responsible your kids are. They've seen how you've parented your kids, like voluntarily. So they'll be like, it's fine, I'll take Slee as kids because I know how they carry themselves. I know what they're capable of helping in the house and all of that. Like, people Be willing to take your kids, other than having that child no one wants to be around with. Like, we have those kids who gets into people's houses and they start getting into couches, and they will be bumping in them. They will be demanding opening people's fridges and all that. What is to give an opportunity to a child to be responsible? I just hope I will have someone to have these conversations with, these sensitive conversations, because at the end of the day, we have people who says our kids, when they go out there, they represent us. Sometimes I beg to differ, because I know that I've done things that I was never taught at home. I've done things that I know that my parents wouldn't even be proud of me if they could hear about those things. Were they bad parents, or were I made choices for myself in a heat of a moment, or they felt right to me? What is to give a child an opportunity to be responsible in future? When? How? When we have government who intervenes in our homes, the government that is giving a bad concept to our kids, that we cannot reprimand them, we cannot scold at them, because a child could just go to the social worker and say you're abusing them, when you're just scolding and telling them that this is not how you should do things, or when you're showing some tough love to your kids so that they can be responsible in future. We have social media that is navigating on how we should parent our kids, and we have these phones that makes our kids to be screenagers instead of teenagers. When to give that child an opportunity to learn to be responsible? We have people who are judging us. The fact that my child decided to go out there to be a prostitute. We have parents who judges us because our kids, they chose to go drink and smoke all the substances out there. We are being judged by the community of our kids who becomes bullies, who becomes abusers out there, and people will assume that they've learned all those things at home. They've seen them at home. I mean, I was watching opera recently, but it's an old, obviously now on YouTube you can find opera's shows. And this lady said, I've got a 3-year-old daughter. I always see her time and time again masturbating. And then the sexologist or sex expert said, it's normal for a child at that age to be doing such. I was like, okay, if you could take that child to a township, immediately they will call a social worker, and then they say there's something wrong at home, this child is being abused. Are we being ignorant? Are we being naive? Are we lacking information of things? How do we equip a child? How do we give a child an opportunity to take it on, to be responsible in the future? I'm so confused, but I felt that I wanted to share all these thoughts with you about this parenting and the kids issue without imposing, because now sometimes you think that you're giving a child opportunities, to find that you are spoiling them. You're giving them opportunities, and then they start feeling entitled. You give them opportunities, and then they find them as short corners of life. You give them opportunities, they feel like you're imposing in their lives. I don't know. I just hope someone out there is going to help. Children become irresponsible only when we fail to give them opportunities to take on responsibility.